Hello children, today we will do chapter 10 from your literature book, and this is the 10th chapter, and name of the chapter is The Story of Cricket. Okay, and it has been taken from the book The India and the Contemporary World 1, written by Ramchandra Guha. So before you read, sport is an integral part of a healthy life. It is one way in which we amuse ourselves, compete with each other, and stay fit. Among the various sports such as hockey, football, and tennis, cricket appears to be the most appealing nation entertainment today. So, that's a very true thing. It has been written over here that whenever the cricket matches are being held, almost every member in each family, they are very much interested to watch cricket. Okay, so how much do we really know about the game called cricket? So we will just have a look about the history of the cricket, like when it started, how it was done earlier, and what were the changes brought about or brought in till now. So let us start the story of cricket. Okay, so cricket grew out of the many stick and ball games played in England 500 years ago. The word bat is an Old English word that simply means stick or club. So it means stick or club. So by the 17th century, cricket had evolved enough to be recognizable as a distinct game. So by 17th century, it was evolving as a very unique game, as a different kind of game. Till the middle of the century, um, till the middle of the 18th century, bats were roughly the same shape as hockey sticks, curving outwards at the bottom. There was a simple reason for this. So, in the middle of the 18th century, the bats were not very exactly, but roughly it looked like a hockey sticks which were curving outwards at the bottom. There was a simple reason for this. The ball was bowled underarm along the ground, and the curve at the end of the bat gave the batsman the best chance of making contact. Okay, so the ball, it was bowled keeping in the underarm of the bowler and along the ground, and the curve at the end of the bat gave the batsman the best chance of making the contact with the ball which was coming towards him. One of the peculiarities of cricket is that a test match can go on for 5 days and still end in a draw. So there was a test match which was there for 5 days, which lasted for 5 days, and what happened, and it end in a draw. No other modern team sport takes even half as much as time to complete. Okay, a football match is generally over in an hour and a half. Even baseball completes 9 innings in less than half the time that it takes to play a limited overs match, the shortened version of modern cricket. So, this was the only cricket which was taking 5 days, otherwise, the other matches, some was taking half an hour, some was taking less than half the time, and this match was only which was taking more time. Another curious characteristic of cricket is that the length of the pitch is specified 22 yards, that is a measurement, but the size or shape of the ground is not. Most other team sports such as hockey and football lay down the dimensions of the playing area. So the entire length of the pitch was 22 yards, but the size or shape of the ground is not. So most other team sports such as hockey and football, They were played within the dimensions of the playing area. Cricket was not. Grounds can be oval like the Adelaide Oval or nearly circular like Chepauk in Chennai. Okay. A six at the Melbourne Cricket Ground needs to clear much more ground than it does at Firozshah Kotla in Delhi. So grounds were in oval shape, okay, and shaped like an egg, and grounds like an egg shape. It was you could find in Chepauk in Chennai, and a six at the Melbourne Cricket Ground needs to clear more, much more ground than it does at Firozshah Kotla in Delhi. So it's talking about the area which was required to play cricket in a better manner. There's a historical reason behind both these oddities. Cricket was the earliest modern team sports to be codified. The first means cricket was the earliest modern team sport to be codified, means certain rules and regulations were set for this particular game. The first written laws of cricket were drawn up in 1744. So the first law was made in 1744. They stated the principals shall choose from amongst the gentlemen present two umpires who shall absolutely decide all disputes. So two umpires were there who had to decide whatever disputes were taking place during the match. The stumps must be 22 inches high and the bail across them 6 inches. So you see the three sticks which are standing just behind the batsman. They are the stumps which were each of 22 inch, and there was a bail which was kept on all the three common sticks, and it was of 6 inches. The ball must be between 5 and 6 ounces, okay, in weight, and the two sets of stumps, that is 22 yards apart. The world's first cricket club was formed in Hambledon in the 1760s, and the Marylebone Cricket Club was founded in 1787. During the 1760s and 1770, it became common to pitch the ball through the air rather than roll it to the ground. So now the till 1760s and in 1770s, the ball was thrown into the air rather than rolling into the ground. This change gave bowlers the options of length. Length means the distance which was between the batsman at which the ball pitches. Deception through the air, that is the ball was no longer rolled, rather it was thrown through the air, and plus increase the pace, increase the speed also. It also opened new possibilities for spin and swing. So we have heard that the spinners are there, very good spinners are there who spin the ball, and they have the capability of throwing in such a way like it comes in a swinging manner to the batsman. In response, batsmen had to master timing and shot selection. One immediate result was the replacement of the curved bat with the straight one. The weight of the ball was limited to between 5.5 to 5.75 ounces and the width of the bat to 4 inches. In 1774, the first leg before law, that is LBW, it was published. Also, around this time, a third stump became common. By 1780, 3 days had become the length of a major match, and this year also saw the creation of the first 6-seam cricket ball. Okay, so here you can see the picture is given. That is the pavilion of the Marylebone Cricket Club, that is the MCC, in 1874. So you can identify here the cricketers who are in white dress, white uniform. if you look at the game's equipment, you can see how cricket both changed with changing times and yet fundamentally remained true to its origin in rural England. Cricket's most important tools are all made of natural pre industrial materials. The bat is made with leather, twine, and cork. So, these are the things which are used for making bat. Even today, both bat and ball are handmade, not industrially manufactured, means not manufactured in the factories. The material of the bat changed slightly over time. Okay. Once it was cut out of a single piece of wood, now it consists of two pieces. The blade which is made out of the wood of the willow tree, and the handle which is made out of the cane that became available as European colonialist and trading companies established themselves in Asia. So now the way of making the cricket changed. Earlier it was made of leather, twine, and cork, but now it was made out of the wood of the willow tree, the blade of it, and the handle was made out of cane that became available as European colonialist and trading companies established themselves in Asia. Unlike golf and tennis, cricket has, okay, here you can see again a picture is there where a rough and ready cricket game being played in a village in the Himalayas. It was in 1894. So notice the homemade wickets and bat curved out of rough bits of wood. So it was not a polished one, and also it was not exactly according to the rules earlier it was played. Now here we will see that unlike golf and tennis, cricket has refused to remake its tools with industrial or man-made materials. Plastic, fiberglass, and metal had been firmly rejected. So these materials were fully rejected for not making the bats out of it. But in the matter of protective equipment, cricket has been influenced by technological change. So it was influenced by technological change. The invention of vulcanized rubber led to the introduction of pads in 1848 and protective gloves soon afterwards. So pads, the cricketers which they are wearing in their legs, in the front part of the legs, and the modern game would be unimaginable without helmets, without helmets, made out of metal and synthetic lightweight materials. So this helmets were now started making out of metals and synthetic lightweight materials. The origin of Indian cricket are to be found in Bombay, and now it is known as Mumbai, and the first Indian community to start playing the game was the small community of Zoroastrians, the Parsis. Brought into close contact with the British because of their interest in trade and the first Indian community to westernize, the Parsis founded the first Indian cricket club, the Oriental Cricket Club in Bombay in 1848. Parsi clubs, they were funded, means they were given the money to run that club and sponsored by Parsi businessmen like the Tatas and the Wadias. The white cricket elite in India offered no help to the enthusiastic Parsis. In fact, there was a quarrel between the Bombay Gymkhana, a whites only club, and the Parsi cricketers over the use of a public park. Okay, so the Parsis, they complained that the park was left unfit for cricket because the polo ponies of the Bombay Gymkhana dug up the surface. So there were many clubs founded by the Parsis. There was a Bombay Gymkhana, and all this they had a fight among themselves uh, over the use of the public park for playing the cricket. And even the Parsis, they complained that the park was left unfit for cricket because the polo ponies, means polo, they are sitting on the horse and playing the hockey type of with a stick, and means they had totally damaged that park and left unfit for playing the cricket of the Bombay Gymkhana dug up the surface. So because they have to dug the holes, they have to dig the holes for playing the polo. So they have totally made unfit that particular park for playing cricket. When it became clear that the colonial authorities were prejudiced in favor of their white compatriots, the Parsis built their own gymkhana to play cricket in. So when they saw that there was a favorism for the Bombay Gymkhana club by okay by the people who were ruling that particular place, so now they had built their own gymkhana to play cricket in. The rivalry between the Parsis and the Bombay Gymkhana had a happy ending for these pioneers of Indian cricket. A Parsi team beat the Bombay Gymkhana at cricket in 1889, just 4 years after. See here, the Parsis team's photos is here. So the Parsi team, the first Indian cricket team to tour England in 1886. Okay. So the foundation of the Indian National Congress in 1885, an organization that was lucky to have amongst its early leaders the great Parsi statesman and intellectuals Dadabhai Naroji. Modern cricket is dominated by tests and one-day internationals played between national teams. Now we can see it is played between the national teams, and it is sometimes one day. So many tests are there. The players who become famous, who live on in the memories of cricket public, are those who have played for their country. The players Indian fans remember even now are those who were fortunate enough to play the test cricket. So here we can see the picture of Pawalkar Ballu. Okay. He was born in 1875 at the time when Indians were not allowed to play test cricket. He was the greatest Indian slow bowler of his time. The players Indian fans remember even now are those who were fortunate enough to play test cricket. C.K. Naidu, an outstanding Indian batsman of his time, lives on in the popular imagination when some of his great contemporaries like Palwankar Vittal and Palwankar Ballu had been forgotten. Even though Naidu was past his cricketing prime when he played for India in the first test matches against England starting in 1932, his place in India's cricket history is assured because he was the country's first test captain. So that is the speciality about Mr. C.K. Naidu, that he was the first captain of the first India's test, cricket test. India entered the world of test cricket in 1932, a decade and a half before it became an independent nation. So very first test cricket was played in 1932. This was possible because test cricket from its origins in 1877 was organized as a contest between different parts of the British Empire, not sovereign nations. The first test was played between England and Australia when Australia was still a white settler colony. Similarly, the small countries of the Caribbean that together make up the West Indies team were British colonies till well after the Second World War. Television coverage changed cricket. It expanded the audience for the game by beaming cricket into the small towns and villages. So, when the telecast was there in the television, now the audience size increased. It also broadened the cricket's social base. Children who had never previously had the chance to watch international cricket because they lived outside the big cities could now watch and learn by imitating their heroes. The technology of satellite television and the worldwide reach of multinational television companies created a global market for cricket. Matches in Sydney could now be watched live in Surat since India had the largest viewership for the game amongst the cricket playing nations and the largest market in the cricketing world. The game center of gravity shifted to South Asia. This shift was symbolized by the shifting of the ICC headquarters from London to tax free Dubai. So now the technology of satellite television and other worldwide reach of multinational television companies, they created a very good market all over the world for cricket. Now matches in Sydney could be now watched living in Surat. So since India has the largest viewership, means lot of viewers are there, and the largest market you can find in India, the game center of gravity shifted to South Asia. So it was symbolized by shifting the ICC, that is related to the cricket, from London to tax-free Dubai. 150 years ago, the first Indian cricketers, the Parsis, they had to struggle to find an open space to play in. Today, the global marketplace has made many players the best paid, most famous cricketers in the game, men for whom the world is a stage. This transformation was made up of many smaller changes: the replacement of the gentlemanly amateur by the paid professional, the triumph of the one day game as it overshadowed the test cricket in terms of popularity, and the remarkable changes in global commerce and technology. So, 150 years ago, the first Indian cricketers, the Parsis, they had to really struggle a lot for finding an open space to play the cricket. So today the global marketplace had made Indian players the best paid. So they are paid very good amount, and most famous cricketers in the game, men for whom the world is a stage. This changes was made up of many smaller changes: the replacement of the gentlemanly amateur by the paid professional. So now the one who were practicing, those who were new, they were being replaced by the paid professionals who really knew about the cricket, and the victory of the one day game as it overshadowed the test crickets. So that one day game and all, they had gained lot of popularity, and there was a remarkable changes in global commerce and technology. So children, this was all about the history of cricket. So you please read this chapter thoroughly, and the writer of this story is Ramchandra Guha, which has been adapted from chapter 7 of India and the Contemporary World 1. So thank you for learning.